Hi, guys. I'm just going to try and attempt to do a quick slideshow for you to walk you through how to make the shift, I should say, from writing a news article to writing a sports broadcast. Okay, so we get to present. So, the craft of broadcast news writing, the biggest thing that's going to be different is that you're going to be much more concise. You're going to shorten your ideas and shorten your writing. You're going to be much clearer and straight to the point because these broadcasts are now written for someone to listen to, right? They're not going to have the ability to go back and reread a paragraph. So, you want to make sure you're giving only the information that's absolutely necessary, and you want to be doing it in a way that's very concise and clear to the reader or to the listener. I'm sorry. So with that being said, make sure that your listener is able to understand the news story the first and likely the only time that they hear it. So make sure everything is very, very to the point. In terms of attribution is when you give credit to someone who reported the fact or the statistic, gave a quote, gave you information. When you're broadcasting, you're always giving credit to that person at the beginning of the sentence. So if you drop down to the broadcast example, Mid-City Police spokesman David Cohen says, right? We say who said the quote right off the bat. It's also important to give attribution anytime the news that you're reporting might be opinion-based, just so people understand exactly who said it, and it takes kind of like pressure off of you. In terms of time, it's always important to strive for immediacy. What I mean by that is avoid using phrases like yesterday or last night in a broadcast. Instead, update the story to say or sound like it's happening right now or at that very moment. So if you look at the example, a motorcycle accident has claimed the life of a 24-year-old Mid-City man. You don't necessarily have to say when it happened. You might later, but you want your lead statement to make the reader or the listener, feel that they're right there and this is what's happening currently. When using quotations, make sure that you state, and this is a direct quote, or Mrs. Halliday was quoted with saying, okay? You can also paraphrase. The governor says he will not allow the Morris Island Lighthouse to collapse into the sea. Or if any time it's possible, give a specific sound clip or video clip of the person giving the quote. That gives your listener or your viewer an immediate knowledge that your information is credible. With names and initials, leave middle initials out unless it's a specific part of their name. So for instance, Michael J. Fox, right? Nobody calls him Michael Fox. Otherwise, leave the initials out. It just makes it too wordy. And it just gives it better flow. So if you look at the examples there. Approximations and numbers. So you're going to want to round off big numbers for better listener comprehension. You'll see the difference there just with the broadcast. Schools out for more than 76,000 Mid-City students. It just has much better flow than if we gave that longer number. Verb usage and tenses. With broadcasting, you always want to write in the present tense so that the news seems like it's happening right then. So for instance, say says instead of said, is instead of was, and your active voice gives better flow. It sounds more immediate. So in that example there, the Ford Foundation has awarded a $500,000 grant to Mid-City University. Contractions and abbreviations. In this case, you actually want to use contractions because it's less formal than newspaper writing. You're getting, you only get so much time to put your broadcast story in. So you want to shorten everything and be as clear and to the point as you can. Also, use hyphens to separate initials and letters to help you read it correctly, like EPA chemist. And you want to make sure you spell out symbols that you're going to use, like percent and dollar, because you want to make sure that you actually say it in your broadcast. Some final tips. Don't hesitate to increase your font size or spell out names or difficult words phonetically to help you pronounce them better. This will help with your pronunciation. It'll avoid having you stutter or stumble. And it's always crucial to practice your broadcast prior to presenting so you have good flow and timing.